Breaking news, Titans fans. Police car light. With just 5 days left before the NFL season officially kicks off, Tennessee has made a bold move that could shake up the linebacker room. The Titans have just added a veteran with years of experience, and this decision could play a key role when they face the Denver Broncos on Sunday. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Titans are signing linebacker Kyzir White to the practice squad. White is no stranger to the field. He's made 73 career starts and piled up over 600 tackles in his NFL journey. That kind of resume makes him an instant candidate for call-ups to the active roster. And let's be real, the Titans linebacker group has been a major question mark heading into this season. With last year's starters gone, the door has been wide open for competition. Cody Barton was brought in, but beyond him, it's been a battle between Cedric Gray and James Williams, especially after Otis Reese was cut. Right arrow. Before we get deeper into this breaking update, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and don't forget to ring the bell icon, so you never miss the latest Titans news, right when it happens. Now, here's why this move makes sense. Just 2 months ago, I talked about how the Titans needed a veteran presence in the linebacker room, and Kyzir White was one of the best fits available. Fast forward to today, and Tennessee finally pulls the trigger. For now, White is headed to the practice squad, not the active roster. But make no mistake, his experience and leadership could quickly elevate him into a key role if injuries or depth issues arise. So here's the catch, Kyzir White isn't part of the Titans' 53-man roster right now. He's sitting on the practice squad, which makes things interesting. On one hand, he can be activated to the main roster at any moment. On the other hand, there's always the risk that another team could swoop in and claim him if they suddenly need a proven linebacker. That's why this move feels like a smart insurance policy for Tennessee. White is more than just depth, he's the kind of player who, if he looks sharp in practice, could force the Titans' hand to elevate him before anyone else gets the chance. But here's the question that's been bugging me: why was a player like Kyzir White still available this late in the offseason? The numbers speak for themselves. Just last year with Arizona, he was a rock: 137 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, and 21 quarterback pressures. That's not just serviceable, that's production every coach in the league would want. And this isn't a one-year wonder story either. He stacked up 90-plus tackles in back-to-back seasons, and only a few years ago he put up a career-best 144 tackles. Those are elite-level numbers for any linebacker, and yet here we are, days away from the season, and he had no deal until now. To me, it doesn't add up. Did teams really think he suddenly fell off? Did they overlook the consistency? Whatever the reason, the Titans might have just landed a bargain at the perfect time. The reality is this: Tennessee desperately needed help at linebacker. Cedric Gray and James Williams have shown flashes of potential, but they're still young, late-round picks trying to carve out their place in the league. They may be improving, but asking them to carry an entire position group without a proven veteran beside them is a tall order. That's where Kyzir White comes in. He's not just another body on the depth chart, he's a seasoned pro who can bring stability on the field and mentorship off it. For players like Gray and Williams, having someone like White around could speed up their development in ways that reps alone never could. And let's not forget, just a couple of months ago, this linebacker unit was considered one of the weakest in the entire NFL. Fans and analysts were calling for reinforcements, and now, less than a week before the season opener against Denver, the Titans have finally answered that call. Now, here's the tricky part: because White is only on the practice squad, his role isn't guaranteed. Unless Tennessee makes a roster cut, we might not see him suited up on game day right away. That uncertainty lowers the impact of the signing, for now. If I had to put a grade on it, I'd call this a solid C+ move. The upside is there, the experience is valuable, but until he's on the 53-man roster, it's hard to say how much difference he'll actually make. Still, the potential for him to become a real contributor down the line is clear. Preseason is one thing, but let's be clear, Kyzir White is not going to stay buried on the practice squad for long. He's simply too good, too experienced, and too valuable at his position. At some point this season, he's going to be called up to the active roster. We're talking about a guy who was a key piece of a Super Bowl roster with the Eagles not too long ago. That kind of experience doesn't just disappear. If anything, it makes him even more valuable to a team like the Titans, who are still sorting out their linebacker rotation. I wouldn't be surprised if it only takes a week or two before White makes his mark in practice and forces the coaching staff's hand. He's the type of player who flashes right away, he'll show he belongs, and when that happens, Tennessee won't hesitate to move him up. But that raises a bigger question: are Cedric Gray and James Williams really the long-term answer? Both have shown glimpses of promise, but they're still unproven at the NFL level. Adding White into the mix not only gives the Titans insurance, it also puts pressure on those young linebackers to step up and prove they deserve their snaps. Now let's take a closer look at how the Titans' linebacker depth chart is shaping up. Right now, Anthony Yorgi is on injured reserve, Kyzir White sits on the practice squad, and the battle for starting roles has narrowed down to Cody Barton, Cedric Gray, and James Williams. Coming out of training camp, Williams held the top spot. But during the preseason, Gray really started to close that gap. Both of them showed flashes in live action, yet the question remains: are these two really ready to anchor the defense long-term? The sample size from last year doesn't give us much, since neither player saw significant snaps. But this preseason offered a glimpse of what they might become. Over 3 games, against the Buccaneers, Vikings, and Falcons, the two combined for 12 tackles. Williams added a pair of tackles for loss, while Gray nearly recorded a sack and even created pressure that led to an interception. The stat sheet doesn't tell the full story, though. James Williams also notched a pass breakup, and both earned respectable PFF grades in the mid-60s. That's not elite, but it does suggest steady improvement. According to reports from Titans beat writers, the coaching staff isn't planning to demote either of them. That shows confidence, but it also raises the stakes. With White waiting in the wings, Gray and Williams have to prove they're more than just preseason standouts. All off-season, one thing has become clear: the Titans want linebackers who can hold their own in coverage. We saw Cody Barton disrupt passing lanes and make life difficult for opposing quarterbacks, and that seems to be the standard the coaching staff values most. That's where James Williams has an edge. His background as a safety gives him versatility. He can drop into coverage more naturally than most linebackers. The preseason numbers back that up, with Williams posting a 62.5 coverage grade, far stronger than Kyzir White's 32.0 rating. Cedric Gray has also shown flashes, though it still feels like the staff hasn't completely locked in who they want as the second starting linebacker next to Barton. Both Gray and Williams are in the mix, and White could complicate things even further if he impresses during practices. What's not in question is Barton's role. He's been one of the most consistent defenders on the roster and looks poised to become a cornerstone of this defense. The real intrigue lies in that second linebacker spot. Will it be Gray, Williams, or eventually White? Either way, this battle is worth watching closely as the season begins. In just a few days, the Titans open against the Denver Broncos, and we'll finally see how this linebacker group takes shape when the games start to count.